We're surrounded by sound all the time. It's such a fundamental, precious part of how we experience literally everything. I mean, just think about it for a second. The voice of someone you love, your favorite song coming on at just the right moment, even just the simple sound of rain outside. We get so used to these sounds, we just kind of assume they'll always be there for us.
But what if I told you that the sounds of our modern world are slowly, silently, and irreversibly chipping away at that gift? Yeah, it's a threat that so many of us, myself included, ignore every single day.
What we're talking about here is noise-induced hearing loss. And let's be clear, this is not just something that happens when you get old. Nope, this can affect anyone at any age. And you want to know the scariest part? Once that damage is done, it's forever. There's no going back.
Okay, so to really understand the danger, we first have to get how we hear things in the first place. So let's take a quick trip inside the human ear. It's actually pretty amazing.
So sound waves, right? They travel into your ear canal, they make your eardrum vibrate, and then they pass through these tiny little bones until they get to this snail-shaped organ deep inside your inner ear. It's called the cochlea. And this is where the real magic happens. Because inside that cochlea, you've got thousands of these microscopic hair cells. Now, these are not like the hair on your head. Not at all. Think of them as these unbelievably delicate, sensitive sensors. Their whole job is to catch those sound vibrations and translate them into electrical signals that your brain can finally understand as sound. They're the translators between the world and your mind. And this is exactly where things can go horribly wrong, because those super delicate hair cells, well, they just can't handle a full-on attack. When they get hit with too much sound energy, when they are literally pounded by loud noise, they just can't take it. This slide shows it perfectly. Healthy cells are all standing up, nice and organized, but loud noise just flattens them. They bend, they break, and eventually they just die off. And here's the hard truth. The one thing you really, really need to hear. These cells, they do not grow back. This is not like a cut that heals or a bone that mends itself. When you lose one of these hair cells, you lose the ability to hear that specific frequency of sound for the rest of your life. It is absolutely permanent.
So, how loud is too loud anyway? Let's actually put some numbers on this. We measure sound in units called decibels, or dB for short. Okay, let's put this in perspective. At around 80 decibels, think busy traffic or a really noisy restaurant, you can be exposed for about 8 hours before damage might start. But watch what happens. Jump to 100 decibels, which is pretty standard for a music concert, your safe exposure time plummets to just 15 minutes. And at 130 decibels, like a jet plane taking off nearby, forget about it. We're talking instant, irreversible damage. And listen, this isn't just a problem for people who work in factories or on airport tarmacs. We're talking about everyday life. The teenager blasting music through headphones, the person sitting right next to the giant speaker at a wedding, the fan crushed up against the stage at a concert. In fact, some studies say over 1 billion young people are at risk of hearing loss from this stuff. It's happening all around us.
Okay, so that was the scary part. But here's the good news. This isn't just about doom and gloom. It's about empowerment. Because you actually have the power to protect your hearing, and it's not even that hard. Let's see how. The solutions are really, really simple. If you know you're going somewhere loud, a concert, a sporting event, you name it, wear earplugs. Lower the volume on your headphones. And here's a fantastic rule of thumb. If the person sitting next to you can hear your music, it is way too loud. And finally, just give your ears a rest. If you're at a loud party or event, just step outside into a quieter spot for a few minutes every so often. Let them recover. So please, don't take your hearing for granted, because once it starts to go, it never ever comes back. The real question is, what are you going to do to protect it, starting right now?